Welcome everyone. It's Thursday, it's 7 p.m. and I will be going with a friend, Jaya, and one of the participants of our coaching circle. So stay tuned. This is going to be very, very interesting. So I am Somrita and I am based out of Bombay. I have had a corporate experience of around 7 years plus with organizations like Tata Steel, Nestle Skin Health, Kone Elevator. And after a while, the corporate life was not making much of sense. So I decided to be on my own. And I've been exploring in the space of learning and development. Today, I'm an author, I'm a life coach, and a facilitator. So today's topic is tapping into our creative energy. Let me ask you that when you think of creativity, the creativity, the word, so what does it mean to you?
All right. So for me, creativity is in everything that I do. Actually, I can't do the same session as the first one. If there's a repeat of the topic, I can't do it the same way. That's something which it's a challenge with my own self. सब लोग बोलते हैं कि ready तो है अब ये repeat करना है. That's not me. I always will bring in something different because even if the participants are different, I will still want to give them something new. That is an inner thing which comes to me. And I love this quote by Albert Einstein is that creativity is intelligence which has fun. So that is something which I live by, and I want to have fun all the time, and that's what I look at doing. And earlier when we were talking, Somrita, you reminded me of the chapatis. I remember that when I make puris with fish, I make puris with stars, and I love eating them. I don't know why. As a child, I used to love that, but still it's going on. And I just love doing that. So for me, creativity is in everything. Earlier, it used to be very stuck block that creativity would be art, design, or something that sort. But I now, being in the field of learning and development has helped me also to understand that yes, creativity is in everything. How do I work with problem solving and use creativity? That's something which I've been exploring, and I've been having a lot of fun doing that. So I'm enjoying my space of creativity, and that's creativity for me. I would love to know yours.
So Jaya, if I'm speaking, probably you can just mute yourself. And Smita, I have sent you a request for joining the live session. So you will have to accept it and enter the session. I've already sent the request. Smita, I can see your hi. And guys, thank you so much for being there. And to whoever said about the mute button, special thanks, because it worked. I think this is something we learned today. How can we be creative in Insta Live, isn't it? So for me, creativity, when I was thinking of what creativity means to me, once again, Smita has sent me a request, and I'll just, yes. So for me, creativity is, it may not necessarily mean doing things differently. It's also how you look at things. So for Jaya, it's, having puris in fish shape. You're thinking of those, creatures where you're looking at that differently. For me, even that is creativity. How can you bring your being, so it may be, so I don't enjoy household chores. But if I have an interesting session, if I'm thinking about it, if it's if I'm in a high state, so I can be creative even in those daily chores, because I will look at it differently. I will be me instead of, I have to do this and all of that. For me, that's creativity. That's how I would like to define creativity. And
that's interesting.
So Jaya, we already, have told in little bits as to how we can be creative in different spaces. For example, you spoke about the learning and development space. Smita spoke. So anything both of you would want to add into that? How could you be creative in different spaces or different roles, different things that you do? I don't know, maybe professional, personal. So how could you be creative? Aarti says creativity to me is having an element of me in things I do. And yes, that's what, Smita also said. Wow, beautiful. Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Sharda ji
There's
says
definitely.
thoughts. Yes. Different aspects, different ways of looking. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Yes, Smita.
So I think, when I have to be creative, let's say it doesn't start with, I think today I'm going to be creative and then, all those ideas come inside me. It doesn't happen like that. For my work also, anything, even if I have to facilitate a session, be it in school or be it as an EI facilitator, we've been working with some reputed schools. So even there, I have to do my bit of hard work. I have to do my bit of research. And once I have, filled my mind with stuff, actually, that is the time these lazy bones out here, all the lazy neurons, that's the time they get that kick. Ab to shuru kar do kuch karna, nahi to this girl is going to read more and more and more. So I think that's the time they start working. Otherwise, it's very difficult for me to suddenly get up one fine day and feel, oh, I'm bursting with creativity. Or probably, whenever you're very comfortable with certain things, for instance, baking. I do a lot of cakes, but simple cakes. But then over the years, whatever practice I have done, whatever I've been learning, it's only through hit and trial. And now I mix up recipes. And I've created my own, and mostly eggless, because my son was very allergic to eggs. So I had to transform, egg recipes into an eggless ones. And now I make, and I'm very comfortable using, homemade things and creating. That's the time my creativity actually comes up. So one has to be creative, or I say everybody becomes creative in a different way. If it's work front, it's research. If it's home, probably experience that the way your nani dadis and my mom used to say, मैं क्या करती हूँ, मैं तो ऐसे कुछ भी बना देती हूँ. My mother makes delicious food, but then she says, जैसे आलू की सब्जी बनाई वैसे मीट बनाया. For her it's just like that. But it all tastes different, and it all tastes so yum. So it's experience, and then probably the love that you pour inside the food, especially, that makes it so creative and special. So those things are there. Your interest, your love, the attention that you give to something, that really adds on to the end result, or that creative thing that it's inside you. Plus excitement. If it's exciting to you, if you are yourself feeling happy about it, then you tend to become more creative. Otherwise it's very difficult to keep pushing yourself to do something new. So that is actually there. And now it's not echoing. Whatever magic you have done, it's really working.
Love sprinkled on creativity.
Yeah.
So I love what you said, Smita, and bones and brains is something very creative. I wouldn't have ever been able to use that analogy for the neurons, because I've always learned, brain cells are plasticity is there, and there are no bones in the brain. But now I'm thinking, yes, it can be still, because they keep poking. It keeps hurting. So yes, I so resonate with your thoughts, Smita. I think it is how we look at things and how we use those creative skills at play with doing even daily chores. I think we all three are using the daily chores as something which, how we can do it creatively, like being in the profession or being in a personal front. I feel that is something which is important. And in fact, I use a lot of different conversations with my dad to open up and talk, because it's so difficult to have a conversation. I think he's like, "Kaise ho, theek ho?" Okay, very good. After that, what? After 2 minutes, you have nothing to talk to him, and every time I go and find some creative way to talk to him, open up. it has taken me a lot of time for him to share, and I have seen him like very very different outside when he's in at work calls and when he is at home. And he इतना बात करते मुझे पता ही नहीं था. Only once when I had actually been with him, he was talking. I was like, my father talks, and I was like, why is he so mean to us? But then I learned my way through, like, while growing up, I used, like, so I think that was also a creative way of, like, asking him or, like, telling him certain things to encourage him to speak to us. I think that was also create. Now when I look back, I think I use a lot of creative ways to talk to him and, like, get him to answer something. So what has been that instance for you, Somrita? Would love to hear from you.
Wow.
Creativity at play.
Listening to you, and something which is coming to me very strongly is, so we have this creative energy in all of us, everyone, each one of us. And listening to you, I was getting reminded that probably this was also one of the things which was getting stifled in the corporate life. And now when I'm on my own, when I do things I love, I think that my creative energy is like flowing. Ooh la la, from one cell to the other to the other. So the thing that I'm trying to mention here is all of us have this creative energy, but sometimes probably there are too many things to do. Sometimes there are probably too many boundaries. Like, you have to be in the square. It's a 9 to 5 thing. You have to be in the calls. Young, mother juggling between work and home and all of that. And all these things stifle creativity. I was like getting reminded of, so I was doing this session of emotional intelligence with teens, and there was this activity where I wanted them to think and do something. They kept asking me, ma'am, what is it that you want? At least give us some instructions, give us something. And I said, no, just go ahead and explore. And they were so blank. So I need sorry to say on this platform, but I think our education system has also stifled it somewhere. So, but I believe it's there. It's there, So my talking about this, I'm feeling that my son would probably go through that, and that's something which I also need to preserve and maintain. And
but then we have facilitators like Smita. Smita shared one beautiful journey of hers. I would love to hear, Somrita, you have to hear this from her, where she came on discussing. I don't know whether you know about it in detail or no, but I would invite Smita to share that part. Smita, would you love to share that?
I'm so sorry, I'm forgetting.
The story one.
I mixed up the EI and...
No, the story one. You remember the age group that you were preparing for a session, and where we got into a conversation. So that's how also creativity comes up, Somrita, because we two got together just for a hello call. And she shared, this is something which is coming up, and how do I go about it? And there was just some kindling that was required for her, and she created a beautiful session. I would love to hear it again. Smita, will you like to share it?
Well, actually what happened that I have started taking some English activity sessions with a school, with a friend who runs an organization. And she runs a readers, writers club in a school. So I've started facilitating for them. So I was generally talking to Jaya that since my field is emotional intelligence, I would somehow like to bring an element of EI into the English activities. So we created, I thought of it, and then suddenly it just happened, created a session where we came up with a phrase. For instance, for grade 6, it was on cloud 9. So created a story where they have to use the phrase on cloud 9, the underlying emotion being happiness, and then created a story of a young boy who's, winter season, a young boy inside the blanket.
I am on cloud 9 hearing this.
So, and the way, he's getting up in the morning. And while getting up, there's the alarm clock there ringing in the morning. He's not wanting to get up. And how he's got a little puppy, Snoopy. And the way Snoopy is jumping over him, full of love, affection. And Snoopy's on cloud 9 because this boy, we named him Mehul. he's at home, it's a Sunday morning, so Snoopy is on cloud 9, and then children had to then do their version of the story from Snoopy's point of view, but everybody had to bring out the underlying emotion of happiness through Snoopy's version. It was Snoopy's version, ensuring that they always use the phrase of the day, on cloud 9. So everybody had to use.
I wish
And
my
then
English
I want to
teacher or my
attend this
writing
English
class
class.
was like this.
So it was actually appreciated. The children liked it, and there was a lot of happiness while we were, when I was narrating the story. So it was good to create. I
Smita,
actually
this is a very
created.
mellowed version. I would invite Smita for a session for us. I would love to have this because the excitement, the story narration, the creativity that she brought to it was amazing. And this is very, very mellowed version that she's giving it here. That was
But when we
actually creativity at
do.
play.
So after all, we have this coaching circle so that all of us. So we said it's building a community, but there are so many things. It's like Jaya and me tapping into our creative energy. We helping our participants tap into their creative energy, because it's very important that you be in your high state. You feel that. That's when the creativity comes out. And beautiful, Smita. So we also invite our participants to do sessions. And Smita, definitely, I don't know what you have planned, but storytelling is something I am really, really looking forward to. Wow.
Well, yes, I've realized over these years, I've realized that, I am a facilitator. Even though I've been teaching in schools, and even there I used to love to call myself a facilitator, I have realized that I cannot be a teacher. You have to know a lot yourself. And I always feel very incomplete, truthfully, thinking, what can I teach? I'm still learning every day. I'm trying to be a facilitator of emotions where I'm every day struggling with mine, but still learning. And I'm better off than when I started learning how to how to facilitate. So I'm still better. Now I calm down faster than I used to calm down earlier. So I think that is a success story.
Absolutely.
It's not reached nirvana. It's not that things don't trouble me, but I am able to calm myself down better. And so this facilitator, me, gathers things from her environment. And then I have a big, the communication network, the telephones have a big role in my life. My husband's got a degree in telecom and all that stuff, and he's in that field. My grandfather was in the Delhi telephone, so I think all that has got inside me. So it's like I'm that new age communication device that gathers all the information from everywhere, and this device then uses our own tadka, and then from me comes out a lot of things which have the meaning cannot change. But the interpretation is in that manner where it becomes easier for people to understand. And therein I mix in my uniqueness and whatever that creativity. And believe me, till now, I have always been asking myself, and I think I've been telling you girls also all the time, what am I good at? What really am I good at? People often praise each other, and I don't know why, but I always tell that I don't accept or like what I have done. Any praise that is showered on me, it comes like this mirror. It's just like a wall, It's just like a movie that I'm seeing, and I would very nicely smile and say thank you, but it never touches me. So it's nice, somebody says, nice way to put it, a new age communication machine. I actually feel, I am like that. Yeah. And very recently, I think after our last coaching circle meeting is when I realized, it really dawned upon me, and I accepted as the first time I wrote that I am a facilitator. And what is my own uniqueness? And this uniqueness comes from my environment, me being a daughter, wife, mom, my being a granddaughter, from a lady who was there in Delhi, one side of the family in Assam, one side of the family in Maharashtra. So it's like I'm a culmination of so many cultures. Then my life in the forces, my Toastmastering, my education all over the place, my writing for magazines, for everything that I've been doing over the years, bits and pieces here and there, because I've been leading a nomadic life. Every 2 years we have been moving. So I've never ever felt that I have something to call my own. And I've always felt that void inside me. What am I? Who am I? Everybody has so many things to speak about themselves. And I don't even have bigger degrees to call, because whatever I start, I have to leave. And I've had to leave. So I can never say I have a good experience of 10 years in this. It's always bits and pieces. But now, after our last coaching circle, all thanks to two of you, it's really dawned upon me that I'm today proudly accepting I am a jack of many trades. I'm not a master of any. And today it is troubling me. It is not troubling me, truthfully. It may again probably come up after a few days. I'm still in that euphoria of our last conversation, probably. That entire discussion. It may crop up after a few days. I'll have to remind myself of all that we've been discussing. So this coaching circle, the way we coach ourselves and stand for each other, and the love that we actually bring out, and the love that we don't shower each other with false praises. We discuss and see what we do right. What is it that we could better? And that is so truthful. And that is why probably it made meaning and it made me believe. So I'm very happy and thankful to the two of you.
Thank you
so much, Smita.
So much. Couple of things, Smita, I loved about your share. So I don't know, a food for thought for you, for everyone. Probably somewhere we have been cultured to think that, you have to be like master. Jack of all trades is not good. But you never know if you're jack of all trades, it adds to your creative energy. Does it? I mean, I don't know. You guys answer for yourself. Secondly, creativity, as we know, probably creating something new, something for the first time. But then you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Might as well take up the wheel, give it your own tadka, change the perspective, and that's creative energy. I loved it, Smita. Wow, this is like so beautiful.
Let's see.
And now I know where those flavorful tadkas come from. So Smita, what you're calling as being a nomad, being from this place, but having roots from so many different spaces, that's the flavor adding to it. Now I know the secret, and you have been keeping it away from us.
No. Here, my box is always there.
You have to be master of all, a master of one knowledge. Sorry, you were saying something.
No, not at all. I'm just saying my basket is always there. Whatever is there, I'm always ready to dish out and always ready to give out and share. Whatever I learn, I understand, and I feel it's of value, I always share. So it's always out in the open.
Wow.
So that's what we're looking for now. And now we are going to put our baskets below yours so that we get the spillage and we carry it. Because I do totally believe that we've had conversations, Smita, about how rich our culture is, but how much do we believe in it, and we bring that out. I think it's high time that we should take that leadership and be out there. And I really seriously wonder who says you have to be master. I can be the jack of all and still be the best.
Absolutely.
And Yeah, and I love the song. I would invite everyone to go back and see the song of Selena Gomez, Who Says. It's my current favorite.
Okay, Jaya shared it with me, so
I'll
it's
write
my
it down.
current favorite too.
I'm
Wow,
going to
it's
see it
already
tonight.
past
I've written it down.
7:30, Somrita.
Okay, so wow, we didn't even notice that
Smita,
we are like so
see,
lucky
amazing
you're there
storyteller
with
we
us.
have. We don't remember the time.
No. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize the time.
Oh,
We
don't be at all.
absolutely loved
We
you.
enjoyed every bit
Yes. So,
with the
Thank
tadka,
you.
with the flavors.
so let's probably just end with a couple of things, whatever. Like Jaya, what would you like to maybe say in the end?
So for me, it's a joyful, experiential, co-learning space at Coaching Circle, which I would love to continue with these beautiful, lovely souls that I have connected with. Thank you.
Smita.
Lovely. I think Coaching Circle now has become a very special part of my life. A place where I can open up without hesitation. A place that gives you the opportunity to just be yourself. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to impress. You don't have to try and be good. You can be bad. You can be worse. But there will always be another one who will bring out, find those good things, appreciate you for that, fill you up, and from that worse feeling, you come down to bad and slowly come on the positive side, and you start seeing the goodness in you. We are always so critical of ourselves. I am most critical of myself, but I have come to see a little good in myself. When I've been discussing things with you all in the Coaching Circle. So I'm very grateful, very indebted. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, today we
Somrita,
started
for
the
you.
call. Yes. So today we started the call. A lot of technical glitches, sometimes echoing from Smita's side, sometimes Jaya's side. They dropping off, coming back again. But for me, tapping into my creative energy was the way I saw it. And I think that is what helped me in still, doing this live session. I did not have an iota of doubt that hoga ki nahi hoga. Arey hoga. Thoda sa problem hai, ho jayega. So that's was my creativity in this session today. And so let me, I have not discussed this with Jaya, but let me tell all of you. So Jaya and I always plan out an overall structure, but what we go there and do and how we tap into the magic of the participants is something which is probably tapping into our creative energy, and that's what we love about it. So very soon we will be having our first session of the third batch. If you're interested in joining the Coaching Circle, you may get in touch with me or Jaya, and you're most welcome. So thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much, and take care. God bless. Bye bye.
And thank you to the participant who helped us clear this out. So thank you very much, and thank you everyone for being here. Thank you so much, Smita.
Thanks, Smita.
Yes, that's a friend of mine. Thank you so much. Bye.
Love both of you. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Thank you.